Conducting a Gemba in the office is not the same like doing it in manufacturing. So today I'm going to show you examples on how you can get it done. Understanding your problem by actually going and seeing how it occurs is a little different in office than manufacturing because sometimes you're not going anywhere. You're in front of a computer. Other times you are walking from one level of the building to the next to get information. So you start scratching your head and saying, well, how am I going to do this? How am I going to go to a Gemba in the office? And where do we start? So here are some of the one-piece flow examples I've seen in the office in the past, and that you can actually go and do a Gemba. The first one is walking the office. You can actually walk the office if you have a document, something concrete that actually goes from one inbox to the next, right? And you see it. So then you can follow through the process. But of course, the majority of us, our inboxes are in our computers. We don't have them on our desks anymore. And so another example I'll go through is how do you sit next to someone, watch them while they show you what they do in their process, and you record that information. And finally, let's say you want to fix a problem at work, but the process takes days or weeks. You can't really walk it. You can't really see it on the computer. It's a lot of emails going back and forth or information getting sent and received. Well, another way of actually doing a Gemba is taking historical information and mapping it out in your value stream map. So let's start by the easiest, walking the office. Similar to manufacturing, you're going to be following that one-piece flow, where basically you're going to be following a document and going to the places that need that document updated or checked or reviewed, anything that needs to get attached, and then you go back. Make sure that when you are doing an office Gemba, you actually record the number of steps. This is because you're trying to already observe and record any type of waste. And of course, stopping what you need to do in order to get up and go get things is a waste in the office. And so the types of wastes that occur are usually motion, because you're moving, and transportation, if you're actually moving items along the way. Record the time it takes for you to do the entire process. Record also the waiting time. If you end up at the office and there's no one there and you're waiting for them because you need something from them, record that time. Then the person comes back, you ask the questions, you get what you need, continue the process. So don't forget, record not only from the beginning to the end, the entire cycle time, record every stop you make. Observe the surroundings. Are there any potential safety issues? Is it trafficked, the hallway, and you're always moving around or bumping into people? Or is there things obstructing you from walking one place to the next? Remember, safety is important in Lean Six Sigma. Ask them questions. Things like, why'd you have to get up and go get this? Right? How often do you do this during the day? How disruptive is it in your work? And my favorite, what's your pet peeve about this process? If you could, what would you change about it? Usually the people doing the process are the ones that already have ideas to improve the process. And yet we never ask them questions. We get in a boardroom and map out a process without even involving the ones doing the work. Well, going to the Gemba is all about talking to the ones that are actually doing the work. And then looking, observing, recording, and usually the next logical step is mapping out a value stream map, a VSM, to see what can be done from the current state to get to a future state. All right, so if it's not your feet that are going to be doing the walking, but your mouse, because you need to look at a process that's online, something that they do. Examples are you're looking at how customer service answers customers, or how they're recording information in a system. or how long it takes to put together a drawing. Well, there's two ways you can do it. You can sit next to the person, record what they say, or you can actually virtually watch them from your computer and record what they say. It's important that you record what you're looking at, the time it's taking for each of those little steps to happen, and if possible, knowing the number of clicks. The reason I talk about mouse clicks is because a mouse click is compared to walking steps. It is a motion waste. So if you're clicking away, going into 5 different screens or 2 different systems to do something, because you can't just all do it in one shot, well, that's a waste, right? Ideally, you would want to go into one system and get it all done. Not that it's possible, but I'm just saying if you're trying to improve your homegrown systems into one ERP system, then you'd want to see where all the information is coming from and how it will make it easier for them to then go to one location instead of clicking away one homegrown tool to the next. And lastly, the historical data. Well, when you're looking at historical data, you can either go the paper route of going into files, trying to find what happened in a process following one case, one part number, one issue, or you can go online. But it needs to be factual. And what you're really recording is what it is and the time it was done. So emails are the best. They're time-stamped. You know that the date and time is exactly when it was sent or when it was received, and you're able to create a timeline, right? You're able to still do a value stream mapping, and you're able to see how many times it's gone back and forth. So the recording of information that you do is not only the timestamps, but also what document was it, who sent it to whom. This way it'll be easier once you map it out where the wastes are. For those who don't think or are not sure there's actually waste in the office or Gemba is really worth doing in the office, well, click on the link that I'm going to be putting in the description area. This visual poster from Lean Office Innovation is the best thing for offices. It basically tells you all the different types of possible waste that do occur in the office, and take it from somebody who's been doing Lean Six Sigma for over 20 years. There is more waste in the office than there is in manufacturing. This is Antonella, and I do hope that this video was helpful. For more videos like this, just subscribe. Please comment and tell us what process you improved by going to the Gemba.